Gordon Lightfoot used in his song. People like B.B. King and other blues musicians found the ballad to be the perfect format for expressing their emotional songs. This is a map of the Great Lakes, and of course, if you look at Lake Superior, it looks like the head of a wolf. It's the little island at the top would be the eye, and then you have the mouth and the snout sticking down there. But 21% of the Earth's fresh water by surface is in the Great Lakes, but 53% of the Earth's fresh water by volume. So over half of the world's fresh water is in the Great Lakes, and it's right in our backyard. This is a great visual because it shows the graveyard of the Great Lakes, Lake Superior. All those little icons represent shipwrecks. You can see the head of the wolf there. This shows the weather patterns. It was like a perfect storm, just like the movie The Perfect Storm, November 10th. And the red line shows the trajectory of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and the black line shows the ship that was behind it, the Arthur Anderson, that they were in communication with throughout the voyage, and of course they lost communication around 7:10 p.m. Pictures of Lake Superior. Now, Gordon Lightfoot mentions the Chippewa, and it's pretty interesting because these are the Native Americans who lived in that area before the Europeans started settling. And we know a lot about them from this poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, The Song of Hiawatha. And the first line is by the shores of Gitchagumi, which is what the Native Americans called it. But the interesting thing that I found in my research was that this poem was published on November 10th, 1855, which is the same date of the tragedy. A lot of strange things that you figure out. So there's four major shipwreck theories, okay? I'm not really going to go into those too much, but they talked about testing. Okay. The hatch closures, people talk about that, but that's kind of been disproven. Perhaps they scraped the bottom on the 6-fathom shoal. Some people don't accept that one. Stress fracture in the ship, and the three sisters. This is the most romantic, I guess, of the idea that there was 3 waves, 2 that lifted the ship up, and the 3rd wave hit the center and cracked the boat in half. And it went down so quickly without any distress signal. And so most people believe that it was this rogue wave, these 35-foot waves that were just engulfing the ship. Okay, just some images of the ship. You can see the whole center area is all iron ore. Okay, the fine art of the tribute. Of course, we heard Gordon Lightfoot's tribute. Okay, this is Gilbert Van Frankenhuizen, and he's in this book, The Edmund Fitzgerald, The Song of the Bell, an award-winning international artist, and that's a beautiful painting of his. Some other images of the darkened lighthouse, and of course, with the waves building. That's a really intense image right there. And it's 530 feet down. Of course, the front end is upright. The back end is upside down, which a lot of people think that the ship got twisted and just snapped in half, and all that iron ore is fused together. Now, the one line in the song that they talk about, they say that the legend came down from the Chippewa, that the lake never gives up its dead because of the depth. The water is so cold down at the bottom that bacteria can't sit in the bodies, so they can't float to the surface. So they actually think that there are bodies, and people have actually seen the divers going down in the submarines and the nude suits have actually seen it fully clothed from 39 years ago, still in the ship. So it's like a mausoleum. There's another artist's representation. Some more localized tributes. My brother John's tribute of the ship. One of my friends, Matt Conroy, did some images using the 29 to represent the 29 men who lost their lives, and the skull, the memento mori, a symbol of mortality. The 29 ghost-like figures surrounding the shipwreck with the blackened lighthouse. The ghost-like figures on the deck of the ship, with the newspaper articles from back in the day. Dan Humphrey-Zumian's painting. My painting, We're Holding Our Own. That was the last communication that Captain Ernest McSorley said when the captain of the Arthur Anderson asked how he was doing with his problem, and right before they went went down. He was still positive. We're holding our own in the storm. And this original painting's on display over there. It's compliments of Todd L. Havens. And the thing I like about that is I put some of the lyrics into the water from the song. So, and again, connecting it to that. Okay. And I just have some other information. There's Edmund Fitzgerald himself, and Mrs. Fitzgerald, the day of the christening of the ship. Again, showing the massive size of this boat. One of the lifeboats, which is on display at the Shipwreck Museum at Whitefish Point. One of the life preservers. One of the lighthouses that was not in operation that night. And the divers inspecting the wreck. And special thanks to, of course, the Lewiston Council and the Arts, the Brickyard, Great Lakes Brewery, Bruce Wojcik, Jamie Holka, Bob Borgatti, the Beatties, Tom Savasia, John Asklar, my brother, Justin Hickner, and Dan Hubbardzumian for their art. And may the legend continue to live on. 1995, they went down and they took the bell off of the ship and they brought it to the surface. And what they did is the families all met and they decided they would like to have the bell in the shipwreck museum. So what they did is they engraved the 29 names on the bell and they put a replica of the bell down on the shipwreck. So you can actually see this restored bell. And this is a great book with beautiful paintings that explains that whole story. They had to go down in highly pressurized newt suits to retrieve the bell. And of course, the nickname of the Edmund Fitzgerald is the Mighty Fitz. And at this point in time, what I'd like to do is invite my brother over to the bell so that we can have the tolling of the bell. And Eva and Tim, if they're going to announce the names for us.